Good evening, everyone. How are we? I did not get a scheduled live up there for you today, so sorry about that. But I'm still here, back from a little trip that I took with my family for work and headed to Facebook Live with you all. So I know I'm a few minutes late. The Facebook Live interface updated or something, and it looks funny to me. So anyway, but I am here. I kind of matched my shirt. I'm having some blue Gatorade this evening instead of tea. I'm already feeling sore from yoga sculpt today. So I'm trying to rehydrate and hopefully will not be feeling it too much tomorrow. So I thought it's March. We just had daylight savings. We're now an hour ahead of where we were. And in Kirksville, where I live, it's been raining all day and raining fairly hard for most of the day. And so I thought today might be a good time to take you back to those goals and resolutions that you set at the beginning of the year. How are we doing on those? Often, about this time in March, we get busy with other things that start to take our time. More things start happening outside, or more activities at school, more activities for the kids and their sports. And often, even if we've been really trying in January and February to stay really focused on our goals, on our resolutions, sometimes in March they start to dissipate. Or we have a setback in February, maybe we got sick or something else happened and we feel like, ah, well, whatever. I guess another year I won't accomplish that fill in the blank goal. And so I thought it might be nice to think back. Daylight savings now, right? We're an hour early. Maybe now is a good time to look at those goals. And if back in January you got my workbook on using hope theory and setting goals, you could go back to that. If you didn't get it in January, I'll put a link to it in the comments for after. Even though it says like new year, you can do it anytime. You can start a new year with goals anytime you want to, right? You don't have to do it in January. So I'll put that in there. And even if you did one or you're going to restart, you can restart whenever you want. And so thinking about, well, am I where I want to be in March? It's the second full week of March. How am I doing? What were my resolutions? Did I break them down into quarterly or more manageable benchmark goals that I wanted to be here by March, I wanted to be here by summer? Or were they too big? Were they too broad? Because often we set this very large goal. I want to lose 30, 40, 50 pounds. Well, great. But if you're sitting here in March being like, I've lost one, that could feel like you haven't made any progress when you have, right? Any loss of weight is progress. And so, how can we sort of back those big goals up and set benchmark goals that are measurable and a stretch, but yet not so massive that there's no way we can get there? And looking at if we were doing really well in January, now it's March and we're like, "Ah, yeah, I kind of lost my steam in February. I got that cold and then I just kind of stopped blank." Well, okay, well, what are we going to do this week even? Can you set something up that you could do this week that would help you feel like you're back on track for that overall goal? Is there something that can give you that little win? I can go to this class on Wednesday. I can take my friend up on getting together for lunch on Friday. It's going to be really nice on Thursday. I'm going to go for a walk. Like whatever, kind of looking at your week ahead and saying, what could I really get done in the next 7 or 10 days that would make me feel like, yeah, I was making progress or I had a win back on those resolutions I made. Because we made those resolutions for a reason. We really did want to accomplish those things. So just because you haven't accomplished it by March 9th, so what, right? Anything worth doing or achieving or pursuing isn't usually going to be easy and is going to take an extended period of time, is going to involve some setbacks or failures, some disappointments. That's all right. What are we going to do now? How can we look at where we're at if our situation has changed or things look different than we thought they were going to in January? Okay, what are we going to do now? What is the next step? So don't be too hard on yourself, is step one, but be honest with yourself at where you're at and why. And if you did get derailed, why that might be. Is it not really something that you are motivated to do? Did you not have a clear roadmap or plan? Maybe you didn't have somebody serving as an accountability partner that could check on you. Hey, how's that meal planning going? Or hey, how's the walk at once a week going? Could I go with you? That type of thing. Like, are there things that um, you could adjust to reignite that plan and reignite those resolutions because you did want to achieve them? So, March 9th can be a reset, or it can be, I've been doing pretty well. Okay, great. How are we going to keep that motivation as the weather warms, or there's more things at school that are going to be activities for the kids, or more expectations for this? Every sort of season brings with it its own obstacles and difficulties. So, planning out for this season, okay, what am I going to need to do? Or what am I going to need to shift? Or what should it look like for the next 3 months? So, again, I'll put a link to my goal workbook if you didn't get that back in January but think it could be useful. It uses the tenets of hope theory, having clear, tangible, measurable stretch goals that are broken down, having a path and multiple pathways to get there, and making sure you're motivated to do it. It's really something that you want. So I'll put the link to that in the comments when I finish here. And also, tell me how things are going. Send me a message or an email, anything, or comment on here. Maybe you need an accountability coach and or partner and somebody else does too, and you can connect, right? So we're all in this together, and it's not always easy, and we're going to have some missteps along the way. But if there's anything I can do or answer or help, just let me know. So I'm going to continue to hydrate. I'm going to walk down the stairs very carefully because I'm a little bit sore, and I will see you guys all next week. Have a great